James, on your latest segment on the Cam Capone YouTube interview, you guys were talking about how Suge should have never became, wearing the red suits and should have never really got involved with the gang stuff, and that the person that Suge ended up becoming was not the real Suge, and that that was more of a character or a persona that he created. Um, Reggie, do you have any thoughts or feelings about that? And you and James go back and forth on that?
Yeah, well, I mean that's a jacket that everybody gets. Even Tupac gets that jacket. I hear 50 Cent even said that in a recent interview. How they feel people are portraying or acting or it's not really them. Um, I'm one of those that believe every profession, every person is gangster. I mean, I have them in them. Even James, I heard James speak on it. I heard Melly Mel speak on it. I heard some other channels speak on it, where they pretty much say that everybody that's in a gang are with it, which would, in my opinion, mean gangster. Because there are a lot of gang members that, and I think from my experience on the law enforcement side, I know what would bust a grape.
I think, Reggie, you got a misunderstanding of what I said. Being a police officer and understanding a gang member, two different things. I understand them because I walked, did everything with them. On the police end of it, y'all seen the guys that come in there that cried because they in there and went through whatever they went through in there. A gang member, a gang banger. I was a gang banger. The majority of the cats in the hood were gang members. Master Ron was a gang banger. Stanley Pitts, dog, them was gang bangers. Niggas that did it. That I know, that lived that life. From the street, in prison, whatever. They were gang bangers. Okay. Mini Bike and all of those other cats, your Dubas and all of those dudes, they were members of the hood. They weren't gang bangers. Yeah. Feel me? They didn't do what we did. They wasn't in it like that. So let's just say gangbanging has different levels. You got in the hood, in every hood, you got those cats that made money, but still said cuz of blood, what's up, homie? Yeah. You had those that did what I did. Meaning you had some cats that wore the uniform but wasn't finna get in the car, wasn't finna take that chance.
That's not what you did.
No, I'm talking about, let me go bam. So you had those guys that wore the uniform, but really didn't represent what they were wearing to a certain degree. And then you had those that was just in the hood, guilty by association, because they was raised there, they was from the hood, and they just guilty by association. They ain't banging.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah. So, and then you had those guys that you call us, that if they see it and approach with it and bam, they fall for it. Yeah. They was gang bangers.
What was the difference between a gang banger? Because I think I call gang bangers gangsters, and I call gang members.
Well, gangster is just another, can I use the word metaphor or something? It's just another fucking word for what we do.
Gangsters.
No, man, I think now, if I looked at gangster then, and I would say, yeah, but what I look at a gangster today is taking care of family responsibility, moving in a real kind of way, taking care of your family. That's gangster. That's being a gangster. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Being a gangster is what's most important to you. How far are you willing to go on what you're doing? But just because you're a gangster don't mean you with it. It don't mean you fully with it. So it's a lot of people that gangbang but ain't fully with it.
So why do you give gang members or gang bangers more credit than?
I was a gang banger. Gang members are just there. Cheerleaders, they're just there.
Okay. But I'm saying, well, you're not up here saying gang bangers are the toughest guys running around. Because that's why I would give the category to a gangster.
Gang bangers is the ones that believe in what they're doing. Okay. You got the guys from my hood that really represented that shit. From Looters, from Fruittown, from the Trees, from Campanella, from the West Side. You got guys in there that's on a different level than those guys on the block selling dope.
Well, gangbangers like Turtle from Santana Block, he was both. He was with it and he was so dope. Well, TPD, I'm just saying, okay, let me think of somebody from my neighborhood. I can't think of that. Because Glencoe was the good Okay.
I'm speaking on the guys I know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of somebody that did both.
Don't get me wrong. You had homies that sold dope, and they went out of state and did all
K-Dub
would
be a good one. K-Dub wasn't scared. K-Dub sold little weed.
No, K-Dub wasn't scared.
And K-Dub was right.
But he knew how to make his money, and he did fuck with him and see.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, if I'm finna roll out and do this, they went and did their thing.
Yeah.
You feel me? No, he wasn't part of it. It never would have been thought of Buster Week.
Correct, yeah.
Kevin Woods was with it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Totally different.
Well, I was just trying to think of somebody from the neighborhood that was with it on the drug side. And
it's a few of them from the neighborhood that was on the drug side.
And
on the drug side, used the drugs they sold, but still was dangerous.
That's the gang.
That was a gang member.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, gang banger. It was with it all.
Banger, yeah.
Totally. No matter how I step my foot in the hood, when I get off the porch, everything counts. He was a gang. Those cats was gang bangers. Gang members is the ones that are not active on that level.
I agree.
And then you have those guys that lived in the hood and they still say, okay, what's happening, cuz, and whoop whoop. They were guilty by association.
Okay. So this is what I want to ask. Why do we denounce or take Suge gangsterism from him? Because I'm one that believes Suge was with the business. Even though he never got in a car and drove for the hood. I'll be the first to say that. But I know one thing when Suge was doing street stuff. When Suge did a little street stuff and some great street niggas robbed him, he went over there and did what he had to do.
With who? With who?
I'm just implementing him.
Okay. Well, let me explain this one.
Well, actually, Sharita was in the car.
Listen, hold on. See, David tripping.
Well,
now, at this point, on this level, Suge was guilty by association because Suge never affiliated, nor hung, nor did drive-bys and all this other shit that comes with gang banging.
I agree with you.
Wait a minute. Well, let me finish. So he wasn't known for that. He didn't do none of that. He lived in the hood. He knew of everybody.
Just as I did.
Okay. Yeah. No, you knew more people. Yeah. But and I'm not taking away from him, but Suge wasn't on a gang level from bam to bam.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Suge really shined on the gang banging shit really that met everybody after 88. Yeah. So the role he took is as if he'd been in the hood banging like that or lived that life.
But dude, that takes away his being.
No. If you came to the hood and you was from the hood for 6 months and out there like boom, you who you are. But don't just shoot up to the top and act like you a motherfucking, like you one of them real niggas coming from the streets. You're not that nigga.
Yeah. I've been with Suge on 2 or 3 occasions.
Okay.
We had gunplay.
Me too.
Blood or red stuff.
Me too. But you ain't never did that. You ain't, see.
I have.
No, listen. This is way in the 90s, Reg.
Okay. Well, this was the 90s. But I know what you're saying. Early 80s, late 90s. Yeah.
And the 70s, the 80s, the 90s is a difference. When Suge came when time changed. And it was out there, but then when you hit the ground and you know from being over here, he has a history to say, man, I know these niggas, I'm from here. And after everybody met Suge Knight, Suge didn't know none of these niggas from the west side, from the trees to the whoop like he do now.
Well, he started off really with the west side, didn't he?
See, you're trying to, no. I'm trying to explain to you his gangster opposed to what it is today. Yeah. Suge didn't, and he been living in the hood since the 60s. But he wasn't, his feet wasn't wet on no gang shit.
I wouldn't give him that. I agree with you.
Yeah. So Suge went to school, Suge went to college, Suge moved, Suge lived in Vegas, White was going to college. So Suge wasn't doing what I was doing. Suge wasn't going to prison like a dog.
So what year would you give him credit for being a gang member? Would you give him 90, 91, 90? He started hanging with you 88, 89. You brought him around 88, 89. Not on a different tip. On a different tip. I agree that was on a get money tip. Yeah. So when do you think he was officially, for lack of a better word, jumped in? And I know y'all don't do that.
He would never jump in.
I know y'all don't do that.
When Suge got with me, and when Suge had me to invite all of these different bloods from various neighborhoods, and Suge got them mingling and started doing his own with certain homies and individuals from all over, then Suge became popular with this culture right here. Okay. And the homies, everybody that he met, took Suge for being powerful because look where he came with, look who he's standing with. So he got his respect automatic. It came automatic to all of those outside of the mob. You feel me? Yeah. So when that happened, Suge took that opportunity to, okay, nigga, this power and finesse the game. We talking about vultures and all this other shit, and he couldn't have pulled off that without the money. Correct. Because everybody was baited in, like throwing chum to sharks. Everybody was baited into it. Now that's the homie. Oh, that nigga, the homie from the mob. So the word spread where he from. He for real. Yeah. But all the guys that was on the turf and the real motherfuckers knew that, man, I don't remember Suge hanging with whoop. I can't place him there on the gangbanging shit.
And that's what I'm asking. What year would you give credit for?
So after Suge got more with Buncher came, 91? 90 or 91, and he started doing Buncher and them. That's when it just, Suge shit really elevated to the gangbanging side of it and all of that. And he just started displaying what was truly inside of him.
Now, when did you go with Let Me Ride and you left being a daily figure around Suge?
I left after Buncher came.
91?
And I bagged away from Suge after I seen the homies going at each other.
Yeah.
And
that was later though.
Huh?
Later.
Like no, man, no, when it was at the beginning. I don't know why motherfuckers
keep saying that.
It was at the beginning. And then when I saw it,
What homies got played against each other in 91, 92?
I don't want to say no names.
Okay.
I'll tell you when this camera on.
I got you. Okay.